Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Zainab Gimba. I represent Bamanga-Lakala-Belge Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Borno State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to move a motion for the need to address the fiscal and infrastructural deficit in the Northeast by the federal government. I so move, Mr. Speaker. I would like to make some corrections on the names. There is a correction on, instead of Honorable Aminu, it is supposed to be Honorable Maigari Bello, and instead of Honorable Abdul Qadir, it's supposed to be Honorable Ribado, and Honorable Madaki Gololo and not Garba Gololo, and equally Honorable Awal Jato and not Honorable Tata. And also the correction on Honorable Bukar Abba instead of Honorable Khadija Bukar Abba instead of Honorable Bukar Abba, and Honorable Bello Usman Kumo also is part of the sponsors. Mr. Speaker, the House knows that the security challenges that have been ravaging the Northeast in the last 10 years, which has weakened the economy and other sectors in the region. Also knows that the activities of Boko Haram, kidnappers, cattle rustlers, and other criminal elements continue to pose serious stress to the socio-economic stability of the region, precipitating poverty, high mortality, and other humanitarian crises. It is evident that insurgency has claimed loss of lives, aggravated the food and nutrition insecurity, damaged infrastructures for roads, health and education sectors, and others that requires an intensive plan. Aware of the role of development planning in addressing the obvious infrastructural deficit in the Northeast imposed by the insurgents' destructive activities. Also aware that the role of fiscal policy, which is predominantly a budgetary activity, refers to the government adjustments on spending levels and tax rates to monitor and influence a nation's economic infrastructure inclusive. Observe that despite the deepening infrastructure deficit faced in the Northeast, the federal government of Nigeria 2021 budget proposal proposed the sum of 45.32 billion naira in the 2021 budget estimate for capital projects in the Northeast, representing only 0.35% of the 13.02 trillion naira proposed. Worried that the 0.35% allocated for capital projects to the zone is grossly inadequate, undermining and constitute a grave setback to the quest of the people for decent living standards. Upheld that the provisions for road infrastructure by the Ministry of Works and Housing is either delayed, slow, or non-existent, calling for thorough rejig on road development plan in the Northeast. Disturbed by the complete absence of budgetary provisions for Mambila Hydro power project meant to stabilize power supply in the 2021 budget proposal before the National Assembly. Alarmed at the absence of consultation with core stakeholders and beneficiaries before projects are proposed and implemented, imposing a gap that undermines the impacts of such projects. Confounded that the sharing of 2.3 trillion naira post-COVID-19 economic stimulus for states, though appreciated, remains unfair in view of socio-economic challenges confronting the Northeast. Perplexed that funds allocated for afforestation and other climate-targeted projects in the Northeast region and Northwest parts of Nigeria are either unimplemented, partially implemented, or poorly implemented. Cognizance of the need for a thorough and deliberate planning as well as improved funding of infrastructural gaps in the Northeast due to insurgency. Resolved to mandate the Committee on Appropriations to review upward the 2021 budget proposal allocated to capital projects in the Northeast. Urge the federal ministries, departments, and agencies to consult and collaborate with the states in the Northeast sub-region before citing capital projects. Mandate the Committee on Finance to look into the sharing structure of COVID-19 intervention fund. And finally, mandate the Committee on Climate Change to also look into the implementation of climate-targeted projects. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Appropriation and Northeast Development Commission to interface with Ministry of Finance and budget planning to see how they can enhance the provision of Northeast Development Commission under service-wide vote. I so move.
Seconder, Honorable Gagdi. So, matter solved. Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Those against say nay. That's have it.